Hello everyone, I'm Roy.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we're going to be talking about goal setting for your business.
When you have a business, ultimately you have an end game in mind, a place that you want to reach. Along the way, you have to set smaller goals to help you get there.
So, like we've said in other videos, like naming your business, and what's your 10-year plan for your name. Same thing as pricing your work. To just even more of the logistics of things, like am I going to have a brick and mortar business? Am I going to have an online business? Am I going to do craft shows? Am I going to be mobile?
Right.
Do I plan on teaching for a living someday? Do I plan on being a vlogger or a somebody on YouTube? Is there ways of making money for that? Is there consulting work? Or is there a possibility for me to not have to run a business and be employed by another professional blacksmith and still get to do what I love for a living? So those are kind of goal setting for the future that you have to think about when you're first starting your business.
Right. An example, if you decide that you want to have your own website and you want to sell your work there, well, some of the things that you can start doing to prep yourself for that, start collecting photographs of your work. Get some really good photographs. Maybe in your free time you can do a little bit of writing. Think about how you want to portray your business and maybe the values of your business and the type of work you do, because both of those will go into doing a website. And then once you've got that starting to accumulate, you can actually start looking for how you're going to carry out making your website.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all these little steps that get combined to reach your final goal.
Yeah. So one thing that we have found real inspiring is there is a YouTube creator. His name is Roberto Blake, and we'll put a link to his his YouTube channel in the description. And we've really taken a lot from him and really to start taking the YouTube thing seriously for ourselves, just to help not only grow our business, but grow our reach, to be able to take and have impact on the world that we live in. And so we've got a lot of little goals, little things that we have set in place and set in motion here. But one of the things he says in one of his videos is that you can always work harder. And a lot of the points around that video was, a lot of it was goal setting. A lot of times we say, well, I just don't have enough time for that. And I don't have enough this, I don't have enough that. And really, you have everything you need to take and get started. It's just a lack of ambition. And that's just real talk. That's one of the things Roberto Blake says all the time. He's like, this is real talk. Starting a business is hard work, and a lot of times it's a lot of work before you see any reward out of it. But it can be one of the most rewarding things that you'll ever do with your entire life. And so setting a goal every day, a structure every day, and say, okay, I get off work at, say you get off work at 6:30 every evening. You go home, you have dinner, maybe you have wife, kids, maybe you don't. But you have dinner, maybe hang out with some friends, you do whatever. Maybe you like to game for an hour, set a limit for that. We'll get into that in a different conversation entirely. But you set yourself, you usually have a routine anyhow. And by setting a goal, say I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to run a business, everybody has at least 1 hour a day that they could take and be applying towards their business and what they want to do. And in fact, you have 24 hours out of a day. About 10 of that's ate up by maybe your main place of employment. And so that leaves you 14 hours to kill. 14 hours, and that's 14 hours. That's a whole other job. There's some people in this country, in America, and even across the world, that are working 2 and 3 jobs. And they're struggling right now. But they're going to stay dedicated at it, and they're going to survive, and they are going to thrive eventually. They're putting the work in now, and they're laying in all them cornerstones and things like that into the business.
You'll make the time for what you're passionate about. And setting the goals helps you carry that out. One of the things that I do that helps me stay on task is I'm a note taker, so I love writing things down. But I actually have a list for me. It's kind of like a to-do list. I have my short-term stuff that needs to be taken care of, and then my longer-term things that I want to get to, and the longer term things, they normally require more steps, but keeping the list helps me make sure I'm moving forward. And then, you know, every so often when I get all of my stuff off my list, I'm like, okay, well, where are we going to go from here? And it's a good point to evaluate.
Yeah. I keep all my notes in my head and they get lost, and then I reference her notes a lot. But yeah, so you know, start setting goals for yourself today. You know, it may be something as simple like, hey, you know what? I want to start an Etsy store, or hey, I want to start my own website. You know, or maybe, hey, maybe you just want to go to a craft show or something in the fall, you know, around Christmas time and stuff. It takes you no time at all to look on your phone and find out when the next winter fair in your area is, when the next holiday bazaar or that is in your area, and then put it on the calendar and say, at this point in time, I want to make set amount of items to take to that craft fair.
Say it's in 10 weeks, you know, and you're going to make 5 items. You want to have 50 items to take with you.
You make 10 items a week.
Or 5
whatever.
items a week.
5 items a week.
Yeah, if it's 10 weeks a week.
Told you. She keeps me straight.
So,
but yeah, I mean, it's doing something simple as a goal, and that's the start. And then just follow through. Follow through is so important. You know, we set so many goals. It's kind of like bad dieting routines. You know, you set a diet routine. You're like, yeah, I'm going to eat nothing but kelp. And let's face it, nobody likes kelp.
no.
We're not all going to eat kelp, and we're not going to all eat nothing but kelp. So, you know, that's an unrealistic goal. You know, set something and saying, hey, I'm going to have a few less soda pops this week. That's an obtainable goal, and you can set that and say, okay, I'm at my limit for soda pops this week, so I'm going to refrain. This isn't meant to be a health video, but it's a good analogy, it's an example. You know, if you want your work to be found more in search engines and things like that, start doing the research. Take an hour of your day. You know, you're sitting at lunch, you're eating your salad or steak with taters. Whatever you're into, you know, you're sitting at lunch, you're thumbing through Facebook, looking at all the garbage that you don't need to really look at in the first place of people with no value. And you know, you're thumbing it up anyhow. Why don't you thumb it up and work on your business? Why don't you work on where you want to be?
Yeah. Exactly. Another example of a goal you could do is, you know, say you do have an online store and you want to be adding a certain number of items each week. You know, so set something that's reasonable for you and then go for it. Make it happen every week where you're making new items to add.
Yep. So everybody has at least an hour a day. And statistics, which I don't have in front of me, don't lie. Of course, they get thrown across the board all the time, and I'm not a big believer in statistics, but
I think they say it's 6 hours a day the average person spends on social media. I think is what it is.
6 hours a day. So there you go. You have 6 hours a day that you can take and be growing your business on the side. That won't cost you anything, except maybe a few less hateful comments on Facebook and you know, funny kitten videos on YouTube. But speaking of which, so we're not hypocritical. You guys have been watching this video for a long time. So stop watching this video, start setting goals for yourself today, and get out there and do something.
Right. Thanks for joining us, and have a blessed day.
Yep. God bless you all. We'll catch you on the next one.